everyone, my name is Jamela over at Viva La Vintage for your home, and I want to thank Christiana for inviting me on the one-room journey of my home. Today I'm going to talk about my living room. That's going to be the journey we're going to take. But before we go in, I just want to show that why my house is still special. I still have skeleton keyholes in my doors here, and I have a key ring, and I turn it, and I can go in my house with a skeleton key. Come on in. So today's journey is going to be about my living room. So when we first bought the house, well, the house was built in roughly around 1940s. And when we first came to buy the house, it had wood paneling all around in the living room, and it had burgundy carpet all throughout the house. So we did pull down the wood paneling, and we discovered the walls were in great shape. And when we pulled up the carpet, we saw that we had these beautiful hardwood floors here in the house. So that is what started my one-room journey and how my living room became my favorite room in the house.
So as you step into the living room, you'll see that you'll first lay eyes on my antique Chase Lounge. That is a piece that once belonged to a dear friend of mine who was in antiques, and when she passed, it was given to me. So I've had that, and it needed to be reupholstered, so I had it reupholstered, and it just basically needed to be oiled down because the wood was very dry. So I oiled it down and everything, so I keep it conditioned now because it is over 200 years old. So that is the shining piece of my living room. So I just decorated around that, and it became more of a boho feel for me. That's how I transitioned the living room into that, based on that piece. So I basically come in here just to play my music and play around with textures and styles and colors and things like that, but I love to keep it very eclectic in here. I don't do matchy pieces in here because I like to have everything different. So that buffet there, that was a thrift store find that I found at this indoor flea market, and it holds all my music because I have a lot of music, and that was always a problem with me, was finding storage for my music. So that holds all my CDs and some other little decorative pieces that I have in the house that I change out. And then, let's see, over in this corner here is just a little table that I bought from an estate sale. And of course, a lamp there that I just kind of, pieced that together. But I like, I don't have it styled like I really kind of want to have it, but I just like the lamp and all the pieces there. So it's gently tucked away in that corner. And here is another etagere that I use just pretty much to style all my trinkets on it, and everything on there is thrifted. And flipping on this side of the room is that is a bar cabinet that once belonged to my grandmother, and when she passed, I asked, my father, can I keep that piece? And he said, sure. So it was painted a dark brown kind of color, but I took it and had it professionally refinished, and that's the wood that was underneath that cabinet. So it's a beautiful piece, and it's very, I want to say, functional, because actually it acts as a server. So the top lifts up, and then this piece raises up, and then it becomes a bar station. So that will be a family heirloom piece that I will keep in the family, and also know that my sons can't get rid of that. So, and then above it is a swag light, a vintage swag light that I bought here in town when a thrift store was going out of business. I saw that. So I just hung it over there, over the bar cabinet, because it actually reminds me when my grandmother had, from the 70s and 80s, she used to have swag lights too like that around her house. So I thought that looks nice under the over the cabinet. And then these here, this I just painted the wall black. I gave it an accent color. And I got the juju hat and then some other little things just to style on the fireplace. So I like how that look came together, and it gives me that boho feel that is my style for the house. These chairs are vintage chairs. Well, that's a vintage Empire chair. I had it reupholstered. And on that chair, I always switch around pillows because I like playing with pillows. And then this chair here was a recent find. It's called an Indian Anglo teak chair. I found that at a thrift store for $10. And just recently. So I was always looking for an armchair to go next to that chair. So I was happy that I stumbled on that chair. So, and then in here, this is a light fixture that I bought from Restore Habitat. And the light fixture was only $7. I was thrilled. So I thought it kind of looked nice in the living room. And I always thrift shop for everything that I find. And then my coffee table, I keep it kind of styled. I change up the look every now and then. But this coffee table I bought from another Restore out in Charlotte area. And it is a very, 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 very heavy table. It's that's a solid iron base, and the glass is extremely heavy. I mean, it's God, it's heavy. So once we got it in here, my husband says it stays. So anyway, that's how I have it styled. I just have some. That is a antique candy dish that I loved from an estate sale from here in town. The wooden bowls and the candlesticks, everything here was thrifted, even the pottery for the plant. So all that was thrifted. And then in that corner, and then over here, I have a brass lamp that I love that shape of that lamp. So, and I think it looks good over on that side of the room and on that speaker that I use as a stand. And then, of course, just some vintage vases that is housing my plants. Plants are very, very important to me for the aesthetics of my home. It brings life, so I just enjoy coming in here and playing my music and being around my plants and taking care of them. So. And over here is a recent find that I did where I did a plant stand. And then I'm going to come around this way, and over in this corner is my vintage bar cart that I have. And on it is styled with some favorite glasses that I collect over the years. I have a thing for glasses, so I love collecting vintage glasses. And I've had this ever since I moved here to South Carolina. And this is my living room. And from my living room, it just feeds into my dining room, which I recently did for the One Room Challenge. But this here is a tour around, a swing around my living room. And so again, that is the end of my living room tour. I want to thank Christiana at Circa Homes for inviting me to join the One Room Journey, because I did appreciate the opportunity. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing others that she's doing. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing because we are enjoying our homes more often these days. Take care. Bye-bye.